um, there will be a recorded version which you can access, can be sent to you. Because I think the most important thing is for you to listen to understand. Yes, we can look for solutions of getting whatever material across. Yeah. So soft commodities, which we call plant-based, right? Now, the examples we have here, coffee, right? The plant there. What else? Cocoa, sugar, cotton, corn, yes, and wheat. So these ones are the soft commodities, and majorly we have the livestock, which are animal based, right? So cattle, even hogs, but mostly cattle. So we also have cattle also, but we are going to be focused on the soft commodities. Yes. Now, there are certain things that determine their price, that drives them, that drives their price, that determines their price path. Because price is never static. Price is always fluctuating. It's always dynamic, always moving, right? Now let's look at the big picture. So we have things, weather and climate. Number one, things that contribute or drive the price is what? Weather and the climate. You will agree with me that if we have good rainfall, we will have mostly have farming. Yes. So rainfall contributes to, since these are things that we plant, rainfall is a huge factor in determining our harvest, right? Also, what else? What's drought? Good. Not sufficient rainfall, right? So during that time, will it affect the plants or not? It will, right? Now let's look at this one. Another one is what? Frost. You know what frost is? When this thing is frozen, when the weather becomes very cold, you know those water debris on the plants, they now make the plant frozen, or the one on the ground, they will freeze, look small, small and sharp. So frost like that, can plants easily grow in that condition? No, they cannot grow in that condition, right? Then what else? Heat waves, where there's excessive heat. And guess what? This excessive heat can last for a few days. The weather will be so hot, some farms will catch fire. Yes. And it will affect the state of the crops during those periods. Then what else? Flooding. Yes, flooding. Definitely affect plants. What else? Hurricane. So these are natural disasters also. Now, all of these things, they are under weather and climate. They can affect the production of all these soft commodities. Then, so in conclusion, in a bad weather leads to low production. Yes, bad weather leads to lower production, and lower production leads to what? Hello, lower. So bad weather leads to lower production. Low production leads to lower supply. And lower supply then leads to what? Yes. Now let me tell you how it works. We were talking about cocoa before. Like we said, cocoa is used to make beverage. So there are so many companies. In fact, let's say for an average cocoa farmer in Nigeria, Ghana, Ivory Coast, there can be like 5 different companies that make beverages overseas that are waiting for you as a farmer to finish planting your cocoa, so that when you are harvesting, they are coming to buy the materials for you, exporting and now, given that all things being equal, weather condition did not favor planting season. I was hoping to harvest 10,000 bags of cocoa at the end of the farming season, but weather condition was bad. I now harvested. Sorry, weather condition was bad. So if I harvest 10,000 bags, I want to sell each bag $100. I ended up harvesting only 6,000 bags because weather was bad. Should I still sell at $100 per bag? Most likely, what would I do? I'm increasing price, right? So there's shortage in supply, especially when there is already demand for it. Then good weather condition is what? high production, and high production leads to oversupply, and oversupply definitely leads to price drop. Okay, now these are unnecessary things to look at. Just rush the rest. Then the major thing is to go to the charts. How exactly do we make this money? But we need to understand these underlying factors, right? Is there any question from those online?
Yes, put the first.
Any question?
So we know the person.
Let me.
MD is also Oluwaseun.
Mr. Jimo, I
say the Oluwaseun.
Fortuna, Michael. Okay, my guy is here. If you have any question, please drop it for my boss. Mr. Rotimi is going to answer your questions. All right, please just drop your questions if you have any in the course of this class. Right. Thank you. Okay. Now, looking at the planting and harvesting cycle, for every of these soft commodities, we have their planting and harvesting. So we have, let me look at it from this angle. So agro commodity moves in predictable seasonal pattern. They are seasonal. You cannot find them all year round. There are times where there are times where after planting, you are now waiting all this. All right. So typical year cycle. We have the planting, we have growing, and we have what? Harvesting. Then after that, we then have what? Storage and export. So all of this period, price will most likely change during this period. Yes, price will most likely change during this period, right? So during the planting season, now let's look at it. We have what can affect it during planting. Weather condition can affect it during planting. Now, we have uncertainty leads to high volatility. During the planting season, the crop is here. If we start having frost, you know there's a problem. What if there's heat wave? And flood comes. Even before the thing finish harvesting itself, the price will definitely be changing. Right? Then we have during the growing season, still weather, big price swing. All of these things, big price swing. Imagine there is, let me know this example. So Brazil, for instance, is the highest supplier of coffee. Now imagine one of the largest coffee farms in Brazil caught fire. What do you think will be the implication to the price of coffee? Please, give us how. Okay. Low supply. And low supply would then lead to high prices, have you? So even before we harvest the ones that did not catch fire, price of coffee automatically start to surge. Have you? Yeah, so during this period, we have things that affect them. Then talk about planting, growing, then harvesting season. Supply increase. If we have increased supply, if we then have enough supply, the price is down. But if we now fall short, we have lower supply, especially compared to previous period. So price will definitely rise. You're welcome. Good job. Okay. Now, price also moves based on class of supply and demand. Price also moves based on government policies. Yes, government policies. Import bans. I mean, government can ban imports. We not hear when Donald Trump ban importation of certain products from Nigeria to the US. It will definitely affect, right? Then, import tariffs, where you are increasing import duties on some of these stuff, it will affect their prices too. Because if the import tariff is increasing, definitely price also will increase. What else? Subsidies, right? Then price control. They can do what called minimum and maximum price legislation, which means for certain products, you cannot sell them more than this particular price. And for another product, you cannot sell them lower than this particular price. Government is intervening now. Government policies, which can be good or it can also be bad. Because if, for instance, I am importing laptops to Nigeria, and the government, we are talking about agro commodities. I'm importing, what can we import, sir? By importing rice into Nigeria. And Nigerian government is saying that I cannot sell rice above 65,000 per bag. Are we together? Now, what if what it cost me to bring in that bag, sourcing for farmers over there, buying it, moving it from the farm in America to the port, to the container, shipping costs, everything, gets to Nigeria, clearing. What if by the time I sell at 65, I will be at a loss? Will it be good business for me? Obviously, in that case, most people will not be interested in bringing rice into Nigeria. And those that even can, right? So government policies will affect all of these things. Strategic reserves, when the government decides to want to reserve stocks. Now, let's look at an example. India banned sugar exports. They banned sugar exports. What do you think will happen to the price of sugar? Now, Russia restricting wheat exports. Russia was the major supplier of wheat, especially to Eastern Europe. And they decide not to export wheat again to sell for that country. How will it affect? It will surge. It will surge, obviously, right? Right. Currencies also affect because most of all these agro commodities are traded against the currencies, just like your indices traded against the currency, stocks, and the same thing for your agro commodities. So a weak dollar will result to what? Commodity price rise. Yes. Dollar is weak now, buy more because dollar is a global currency which we use to buy commodities globally. So even if I am buying coffee from Brazil, I am not paying them Brazilian real. I will pay them what? Dollar. So if dollar is cheap now, means I have the capacity to buy more, isn't it? Yes. Right? Then strong dollar, commodity price will fall because they are against each other. Right? Energy also, because most times in the cost of production, we consume energy products like oil and gas. Fuel is used. We also use fuel in farm machinery, right? Yes. Even in transportation of all of those things, fuel is also involved. So if the price of fuel increases, it adds to the cost of production, which in turn will also increase the cost. So now I think these are sufficient fundamentals that we need to trade some of these agro commodities. The rest of them, I think we can just give them across. So how do we trade these guys? Going to the charts now, because that's the most important thing. Now, for us to trade agro commodities, we are introducing a simple and a very effective way to trade them, stress-free. How many of you have used EA to trade? EA, robots. You have used robots to trade. What was it like in your own experience? Seamless, right? It makes the job easy. You are not thinking too much, have you? You are not bothered what is going on because the system is executing whatever you are doing by itself, right? Good. Now, how many of you have also used trading indicators to trade? Now, please be unbiased, not because you're in class here. You just want to give us one side, maybe only the good side, or only the bad side. Balance it. If you have a good experience or a bad experience, let us know. So, what was it like using indicators? I have good experience. And you have the other side experience. No, there's nothing like bad experience. I have more. See, there's nothing like bad experience. Instead of saying bad experience, you call it lesson. Abi, you learned. You just learned another way of not doing something. That's the truth. Why? It depends on what you say. You know, the words that we speak, they are very powerful. They're very powerful. Yes. So, sir, how was it like? They're not palatable or as expected. It's expectation. Yeah, right? Lagging. You see, now most of the indicators we have, truth be told, they lag. Because what is lagging? It means it's only showing me after price has done made that move, right? But like I said, you turn volatility to your advantage. I hope you know you can turn lagging to your advantage. There's a way you use lagging indicators. Yes, there's a way you use lagging indicators. Now, indicators are different. One, but guess what? Every indicator has a unique way of using them. Every indicator. Say, for instance, I pick this particular, let's say I'm trading with an indicator that is using more of a moving average. You know, moving average is a trading strategy. Now, I am used to that kind of indicator. Then I now get another indicator that is used more with Fibonacci. If I want to use that Fibonacci indicator the same way I was using the moving average indicator, I hope you know there will be problem. So I need to learn the way each indicator is used. The same thing for EA. There are specific EAs that are programmed to trade only gold. Because of the way gold behaves, they have factored those things into coding the EA, into the algorithm. Now, if I pick that EA and go and apply it to Euro USD, do you think I'll have the same result? So indicators are built for specific things, and we need to learn how to use them, right? Now, we have a specific indicator that have been used specifically also to trade agro commodities. There are two ways to trade agro commodities majorly, two ways. There are two strategies out of so many strategies out there that people use to trade. You know, you cannot apply every strategy to the same market. The same market. There's a strategy that works best for USD JPY or Euro USD. If you apply that same strategy to trading oil, I hope you know there'll be problem. Hello, there'll be problem. Or you apply that same strategy for gold, there'll be serious problem, right? So understand the market you are trading. Understand the strategy that best suits that market, right? Then we now look for or develop indicator that best suits that particular market that we want to trade. Two ways to trade agro commodities. Number one is supply and demand. I mean, you know, these are commodities. So we need to learn supply and demand trading strategy, which most of us call SMC, smart money concept. You know, smart money are institutions. Those are the movers of the market. I mean, so when you are doing your retail, those ones are doing supply and demand. They are doing clearing house. And whenever supply and demand is being used, it means volume is involved. Volumes. A lot of volume is involved. If you check the strategies for SMCs, you will notice that they always deal with areas where we have massive buy pressure or massive sell pressure, which is supply and demand. Meanwhile, another strategy you can use to trade agro commodities are breakouts, break and retest. Break and retest. Now, why break and retest? These things have to do with specific prices. Let's say at the end of farming season, wheat was sold for $130 per bag. That was at the highest, the lowest price rather that wheat was sold last farming season was like $130. That's the lowest. And the highest was like $170. Are we together? We now have a rate, isn't it? Good. Now, maybe we now had flood or frost, which made something to catch fire. There will be shortage in supply, which price will. Now, price now rose from the highest price, 170, now went to about 220. That is breakout, isn't it? So normally, what we expect is that after it goes as high as that, somehow, you know, price will start dropping again. That's the usual trading cycle. Breakout, retest, have you? Impulse, correction, even though it is trending. Now, I think maybe I'm just talking. Maybe we'll open the chart after I just show it. Right? Now, after all of these things, imagine that price now dropped from 220 back to 170, that the previous highest price that I broke out. What do you think will now happen? Do you think it will keep going lower? You see that 170? Let me use something else. Let me go to my. Let me look for an uptrend. Specific. Are you seeing my screen? Just a moment. I think I need to. Attend to the question now. Why? There's a question here. Is it possible we go back to this class? Okay. The recorded version will be uploaded on our YouTube page. Okay. All right. Okay. That's good. The questions have been answered. So before my system goes off, there's what we call breakout and retest. So basically, to just conclude this one before we go back to our chart, right? You see this indicator that we have, or the indicators that we have. Let me hide this. Okay, these indicators that we have suit trading of agro commodities. Are we together? Because they factor out where there's going to be massive buy pressure and massive sell pressure. So this is what we call ATI, Agro Trading Indicator, right? So we have the ATI. Now the job of the ATI is it has lots of parameters we can apply. So we can apply market structure, Fibonacci, other block point of interest, fair value gaps, volume and imbalance, equal highs, equal lows, liquidity. We can also apply premium and discount. Now, let me not bore you with all of these things. The only things you need in this indicator are your market structure, other block market structure, premium, and discount. Just those three things. Right? And I'll show you quickly how to use the ATI. We have two versions, the ATI and the ATI Pro, two of them. The ATI marks the zone you have to take your trade. The ATI Pro, what's the difference between this and this one? The ATI and the ATI Pro. Can you spot the difference? This is ATI. This is ATI Pro. What's the difference? This one is showing an arrow. Showing an arrow. Okay. Pointing to the direction where price is expected to go, right? Okay, so this one is ATI Pro. So the difference is the ATI only mark the zone for, but the ATI Pro will tell you when to execute. Are we getting the idea? So that's the difference between the ATI and the ATI Pro, right? Now with these ones, you are not guessing. You are not trying to, when do I enter? What do I do, right? At least if it's the ATI, you know the zone from where you have to enter your trade. And you know the kind of trade, if they buy or they sell. And the ATI Pro, it makes it much more better. All you need to do is just, when it gives you the signal, you enter. Now, how do I use these indicators? Let's go to the charts. Let's go to the chart. Now, this is cocoa, right? Cocoa. First of all, there are certain things you need to understand about whatever you want to trade. The first thing is, unlike your currencies that goes 24 hours, these ones, agro commodities don't go 24 hours. They have their opening time and closing time. So you know when it's best to trade them. Now, the first thing to do is to know, for instance, the opening time is exactly on the line here. This one opens at 11:45. So the daylight savings minus 1 hour, which is 10:45 a.m. in the morning. That's when it opens, right? Good. So, and when does it close? It closes 7:45 p.m. in the evening. So from 11:45 to 7:45, this is the time where you can trade the cocoa. Thank you. Now, what do I have here? I have the ATI. Okay, this is ATI, not the Pro. I have the ATI. First of all, how it's factored is from the higher time and your daily. What's the current direction of the market, up or down? Now, for those online, please, I'd like you to get this one, even though we still get the recorded version. Now, the current directional bias of the market is where? Is to the downside, right? Which means we are looking for, is it buy or sell trades? Sell trade, right? Good. So on the lower time frame, let's say your 1 hour, right? Or your 30 minutes, or even your 15 minutes. All you need to do is to wait for price to go into a zone of sell pressure, which the ATI would have marked for. Now, this is zone. This is one. This is one. This is another one. And this is another one. We have three, right? 1, 2, 3. That's one. For those online, we are talking about these zones. We have this zone, we have this zone, and we have this zone. If you look closely again, you notice that there are also two dominant colors around my chart. Lower part of my chart, we have this green, right? Then the upper part, we have this like pink color, isn't it? Now, these zones are what we call the premium zone, the pink up, and the lower one is discount. Whenever you want to buy something, would you want to buy at a high price or at the lower price? Lower price are what we call, right? Higher prices are what we call premium, high price. So for you to take a sell, because here is a downtrend, so we are now at our 15 minutes looking for sell. We must make sure that we enter first into the premium zone. And secondly, price gets to a zone inside the premium level for us to take our sales through. Are we together now? Now, it's not just about taking your trade. Also, you need to apply your stop loss. Is there anybody here that does not trade before? When you enter your trade, just do the thing. I know most of it. Is there any question? Please drop your questions on the chat. Where is supposed to take trade? It depends on what the indicator gives to you. Now, this indicator now, the signals that it is giving to me, they are all cells. It's not giving me, okay, it's giving me a small bar of cells. Let me give you in context now. Let me give you in context. Yes. To sell. This one right now is not giving you any signal right now. Understand the concept. It's not saying buy now or sell now. It's saying that for you to sell, you need to wait for price to rally up into the zone. I don't know if you get my point. Rally up into the zone or into the zone or into the zone. These are the possible sell zones. You know, we're talking about supply and demand. These are where the key levels where price is most likely going to be selling from. Let's look at it on a 1 hour time frame. Yeah, obviously. You know, other blocks, supply, demand, they are very, very similar. Very similar. It's not just name. It depends on how price reacts around an area. For you to say this is other block, or for you to say this is supply demand, it depends on how price reacts around that area. It's a mechanical thing. I know, do we have any marker? It's a mechanical thing, right? It's a mechanical thing. It's something that can be measured. I wish we had time. I would have. Okay, so let me make this smaller. Now, say we are buying, and price comes into this level. Whenever we are trading, the problem is most of you look for the future. But the secret is to look at the past. The past tells us a lot about the present. And if we can combine the past with the present, it will give us a better path to the future. So the move that you are looking for is in the past. Now, we are talking about order block. Your order block can easily be found, let's say, around this area, isn't it? But it depends on how price reacts around this area before this pass to the upside. That's what separates order block and demand. One needs a lot of accumulation. It needs a lot of range before price pulls to the upside. The other one does not necessarily need accumulation or a lot of range, but it needs something. There are three kinds of candles. One candle is called indecisive candle. There's decisive candle. Then there is explosive candle. So if you understand your candle, I'm not talking about those now. Marigozu, engulfing, hanging man, hammer, inverted hammer, whatever, or three crow, or morning star. You know those candlestick patterns. I'm talking about all of those candlestick patterns are just summarized. It's either the candle is indecisive. By indecisive, we mean that the candle is a small candle. It's a small one. Okay, you can see this candle here. This one. Are you see this one? The body of the candle is small, way smaller compared to the range, including the high and the low. I mean, it's an indecisive candle, which means that even though it's a bearish candle, it's seller's candle. Sellers were not dominant even in that around that time. Are we getting it? So a candle that covers less than 50% of the entire range is an indecisive candle. Then we look out for a candle that covers at least 50%. Let's say this kind of candle. If you look at the high and the low, I mean from all the way down here to the high and the low to the high. That's the body of the candle, which is the green part of the red part, covers at least 50% or more, right? It's a decisive candle. Please, are you getting what I'm saying? Now, the last one is explosive candles. Those ones are massive, one. Two, they cover larger part of the range of the candle. So that is where either the demand comes in now. Are we together? If you don't have that kind of candle taking you out of the range, you don't have a demand yet. Hello? If you don't have such, all right, this is a strategy for another day where we'll sit down and talk about these things. We look at the mechanical structure of supply and demand, mechanical structure of order block. But this strategy is more of order block, right? Remember I said where you have more of buying and selling pressure, okay? Good. So, for the fact that we are printing lower highs and lower lows, if you look at your market structure, lower highs, lower lows, prices going to the downside. The indicator is giving you sell. I mean, it's telling you, giving you areas where it's expecting more sell pressure to happen, which means if price can rally back to this zone, right, it's expecting a continuation of sell. If it doesn't sell from here, worst case is price goes deep inside this one before it finally sells. It should expect 1, 2, highest 3. In the long run, I will still expect it sell. I don't know if you might. Sometimes you can be lucky to have just only one zone. That makes it very easy. Sometimes you can have only 2 zones. This one is giving us 3 based on the reaction of price around those areas, right?
Oh, yeah, Kelly.
Huh? Yes.
In this example, now we have to what other do you think we need to have as an idea to determine where to take the cell from?
We have to take the cell phone.
Yes, but we have to take from 1 or 2.
Okay. That is where I want to go further. So, how do I know that price has gotten to this zone now? How am I sure that it's going to sell? I mean, confirmation. This is where you probably need your candlestick patterns. But what this indicator is to do is to not complicate things. It's to make things work easy. Some persons are looking for mini break of structure, change of character. All of those things are bogus terminologies that wants to confuse us. At the end of the day, is even though you are using other block, this is your other block. This is your other block. This is your other block. A change of character is bound to happen either here or here. And like I said, if you use your stop loss will be somewhere above the zone. I mean, in case your village people visit this chart now and decide that if you are trying to sell from here, you must never make money. You know, some people, the village people are following them to the chart. Have you placed a buy before? It's not buy. Then you now place it. It is still not. How do you explain that? It's village people.
It's not that the market is not village people can't see this.
No.
Yeah.
The village people can influence your thoughts. Yes, you are right. Village people cannot come into this market. The market is bigger than your village people. Your village people don't have jurisdiction here. But they can manipulate your line of thought. Now, this is where the money comes in, guys. This is where the money comes in. What makes agro commodity interesting is not just about the trading strategy that we're talking about. This is a high probability, high profitability trading strategy. Now, the difference is this. When I'm trading my gold or I'm trading my currencies, and I'm using, let's even say, I have good equity, I have good funds. I'm using a standard lot. The best I can make on my currency is like $10 per pip on the standard lot. $10 per pip. Even your gold self, still the same $10, but the difference is that the pip value is closer when it comes to gold. Where your currency is like this, gold is like this, 10 pips. Are we together? Please, can we have persons online muted? I don't know where the noise is coming from. Okay. This where it gets interesting. Now, do you know that on coffee, that one standard note that you use to enter a trade, buy or sell, will give you $39.69 per on PU platform, which is averagely $40 per on coffee. One standard lot is $40 per. So it means that if I'm trading my currency or my gold, I'm making $10 per pip, right? And gold runs 30 pips, which means I make $30. But 30 pips is very small, so you can easily run into 30 pips, right? You make your $300, 30 pips, right? On coffee, it is $40 per pip, averagely, 39.69. Are we together now? Now, if you make the same 30 pips, which 30 pips is also very close. If you make the same 30 pips, how much would that be? 1,200. So where you are making for $300, someone else trading coffee is making $200. It can also be. You are very right. Now, that is where you need to understand what you are doing. This is where the ATI and the ATI Pro comes in. Are we together? So for those who don't even really understand complex trading strategy, someone said it's the second training, right? So it was you, sir. Second. Someone said, okay. Some persons are even relatively new, isn't it? Now, some persons have been trading some other stocks before. How do you explain that you are trading your gold using your The best you can, even with your one lot side, you make 300, 400. How do you make 1,000? But I'm trading my coffee. Coffee is the best for us. Last year, coffee did wonders. And last year, from August to early November, I was doing more buy. That season was massive. Then I started with 0.1. 0.1. Now, I tried multiple platforms. There was a platform I used that on a standard lot is $200 per people. $200 per people. Now, platforms differ, but on PU platform is 39.69. Are we together now? And the lowest lot size you can use to trade it is 1. That is 0.1, not 0.01. Yes, 0.1. Because that's the low. You can't use less than 0.1. It's because of how heavy it is. Are we together? How heavy it is. Way heavier, not just heavier, way heavier. Corn too. But coffee is the highest of all agro commodities. It's not. That's the interesting thing. You see, coffee and your currencies, they are not far apart the way they move, but they move faster than your currencies. Most agro commodities move faster than your currencies, but they are not as fast as gold. But each movement is heavier. So when gold is doing, for one peak movement that is 10 pips, coffee is doing averagely 40. Are we together? Coffee is doing averagely 40. So who will make more money at the end of the day? My own there was between 20 to 30 pips amount. So I started with 0.1. Then I used to add more positions, although sometimes after I add to boost the whole thing. And coffee then opens around 950. So most times before I get to work, I made average $900. Sometimes I can make like $1,015, $1,050, because I usually target between 25 to 30 based on the structure. My equity, I started with about $3,039. The account first, I wanted to put it on EA. In fact, I put it on EA. The EA was what made 3,039. The 39 was not the EA page. I now disconnected it from the EA and decided to. That was when I discovered Agro commodity. So I tested whose strategy best. It's very people now. Me, I'm here now to open your eyes. Really? Don't worry. Now, some persons are saying, how come Agro commodity are good? That's the hidden secret. No. The truth is, like I said, you are playing based on what you do. Some other people are making money because they know more, right? They've been exposed to more. So, for instance, now, after a while now, you start making more money. And guess what? You will even trade less time. Like your trading time will probably even reduce based on the signal it gives, right? So, because this sell has been, wasn't it since Friday? Since Friday. Friday was 6th, I mean. This sell was caught since Friday. This particular sale since Friday on the 6th. It was around this place here, this candle, that he gave a sell signal. All right. Although price looked like wanted to sell, it still went up before the selling now started. Are we getting the idea now? Now, let's look at catching itself from here. Price has done so many pips running up until this particular point here. 384 pips, 7 points. So calculate, okay, cocoa is about 28 $28 per pip on a standard lot. Now let's break it down. Let's break the profit down, right? Because some persons will not use the standard lot, isn't it? So you are not making the $40. So let's even say use 0.1. That means you divide it by 10, which means you are catching $4, right? What if you use the lowest lot size, which means you are making 40 cents? I don't know if you get my point. Per pip. So you are using that 0.1 now, means you are making $4 per pip. What if you catch 30 pips movement easily on this guy? And 30 pips movement on coffee is very close. Is around what? $120, right? At $4 per pip on the average, isn't it? Now, do you think you can easily get that on your code? With the same 0.01? Because, like I said, the least loss I can use on coffee is what? 0.1. I asked you now, what loss have you used on your code? Right. So, for you to make good money, you need to have money. It is money that we use to make money. Isn't that how business works? For you to trade agro commodity, your equity must not be small. Your equity must be good. Minimum. Now, we are setting a minimum, lowest minimum, on a $500 account. But that $500 is advisable to convert it to cents. Are we together? So that I can comfortably trade it. All right. We are not leaving it at just the dollar. We are doing it as cents. All right. Now, anything below $1,000 will be used as cents. But if you have an equity of $1,000 and above, we just leave it at dollars, so that you can still comfortably trade the agro commodities. Right? Now, say we are using, where is this guy? If I do it, the agro ATI Pro, let me use ATI Pro. ATI Pro. So remember I told you that this one was giving us gave us a signal on Friday, right? Which is on 6th. So this is on 6th Friday. You can see where the signal came in at this candle, not here. The signal came in at this candle. But it was at the end of this candle. That's why I was saying this one, at the end of this candle. So it was at the beginning of this candle, it gave us sell, which means that we had small drawdown. This one went to, it was small drawdown. Are we together? You know what drawdown is? Yes. Negative, right? Before it's now started coming down, and up until now. Yes. Up until now. Although from here now, the surface of this, but it has broken structure here. Yeah, so we need a retracement. For us to keep selling, we need a retracement into any of these points of interest here, or worst case here, to continue selling. Except there is now a break of structure to the upside before we stop selling. In that instance, ATI will now stop giving you sales. It will now start giving you buys around the other block down. Are we together now? So if you are using ATI Pro, better, because it will now give you the it will bring out the error. If you are using Pro. Yes, ATI Pro. Now, which one you prefer, ATI or ATI? So, which one? No, I know you prefer anyone because, like, you understand this one.
Both of them are. The Pro is easier to handle.
Pro is easier to handle, actually.
Pro is small time.
Yes, you are paying, but you are not paying as in what? No, it's not a subscription. This is how we have made it. Exactly. For you to use the ATI, you must fund a minimum of $500 in your account. So it's your money. It's for you to now get the ATI to use to trade the money you funded. Even if you have money there before, you need to add at least 500. Are we together? No, yes, that is it. We cannot sit down, take our time to control this kind of things. Yes, the difference is $500 in your account will get you the ATI. $1,000 in your account gets you to use the ATI. It is still your money. So you're not giving me or you're not giving me prime money. It's the money you want it to do.
So if I have, for example, I have 500.
Yes.
If I want to get the ATI, I have another 5.
To get the ATI, we're not talking about what you have currently.
So if I have $2,000 in my account,
You will still.
Okay, and this is a new
So you are funding that one to collect the indicator. What you are bringing now is to collect. So instead of me to say, give me $100, $500, why don't you put the money in your own account? Then I give you for you to trade it. Which one? It's not better than that. You say you want. Yes. More deposit. Sorry, I'm coming. We'll still come to more deposit. Yes.
Yeah.
Reversal.
You know, when the market is actually killed, back and so
Yeah.
there's this, what was it called?
When the market changes, the trend changes.
Yes.
I mentioned here that currently this one is doing more the structure of the market. MS, the market structure currently is printing higher highs and lower highs and lower lows. So the ATI is recognizing that the market is currently in selling state, right? So what it's doing is giving you possible areas that continuous, which are these zones here, right? Then, when the market reverses and it starts doing buy, which means for you to reverse buy, you will have to break off to the upside from the last high, all right? In that instance, if you remove all the cells, then start shading the other blocks for buys. Because it's recognizing that current structure is now to the upside. Everything is factored inside. Everything is factored. Everything is factored. Everything. Yes.
that's what they are using the that's the higher chemistry, the slow, the lower isotope. So what is the minimum time frame use? At that minimum time frame in the entry.
Okay, what time frame is best for me to use as my entry time frame, right? Yes. Now, irrespective of if we are not using any indicator, I would have showed you how to do proper analysis from higher time frame, or just call it a top-down analysis, right? From higher time frame to maybe from your weekly to daily to 4 hours, to your 1 hour, and probably. Now, the time frame you used to execute, please can we have our phone on silent? The time frame you used to execute depends on the kind of trader that you are. And we have different kind of traders. We have scalper, right? We have day trader, we have swing trader, we have position traders. So if you're a scalper, you can go as low as your 5 minutes. Are we together? To look for your entry. Then, but to use this indicator for maximum, what do you call it now? Efficiency. Don't go lower than 15 minutes. Don't go lower than 15 minutes. Don't go lower. Like 15 minutes should be the lowest time frame you go. And I can even recommend 15 minutes for your entries. You can also use 30 minutes for your entries. Then the maximum time frame for your entry should be 1 hour. It's not like it's not good for scalp, but it's not very as efficient as day trading. If you are trying to scalp, let me tell you the downside of it. The downside of it is if you are trying to scalp, it can give you the sell zone and the buy zone might not be too far. Which means if you enter now, what if I decide to, even if you want to buy, you decide to come down to the sell, your drawdown will be much first. And that's why we are recommending that whatever you have, add some money, 1. 2, if it is less than $1,000, we are going to use it in what? In cents, right? To accommodate for whatever drawdown before price eventually goes your way. It is most efficient if you want to swing the trade. most efficient if you want to swing trade. It is efficient if you want to day trade. So I want to enter the market today. I want to make profit today. Yes, very good. But I want to enter the market today. I'm looking at closing my profit in the next few days. Let's say within that week. Especially if you're entering Monday, Tuesday. You want to close out your profit on or before Friday, right? Like it's one of the best things you can do this. They don't affect it as much as you don't see the impact of all those NFP, CPI, and co as much as you see on your currencies and other. Yes.
You not really period of production preservation and
Yeah.
so is there a platform where you find out when you can buy to sell?
Okay.
Then secondly,
Yes.
they like you get open time for trade.
Mm.
Give up the time.
Yes.
Is there a platform where you can determine where to go, when to buy cocoa and when to buy coffee and when to close?
Or is there a platform that also tells you the time of opening? You can check it on your charts. It's very simple. If I want to know when price opens, I will simply use my crosshair. Put it on the line. You see this line? Control Y. This period separator. If I control Y, you see this line, huh? Those lines, this line is from here to here is 1 day. From here to here is 1 day. Are we together?
Yes.
The candle that opens the day starts on the line. The candles that closes the day ends the one before the line. The candle that starts the day is the one, this green one on the line. The candle that ends that day was this one before the line. And then this one on the line started the next day. So the one before the line closes when? 1945, which is 7:45. Now we are minus 1 hour behind, which is 6:45 now in our local time. Then the candle that opens the next day is what? 11:45, which is minus 1 hour, what? 10:45. So cocoa opens around 10:45 a.m. now and closes 6:45 p.m. That is the trading period that I have. Now, is there a place, sorry, that can give you an insight to what, when to buy, when to sell? And it's not like it's 100%, nothing is 100%, but you can check on investing.com. Now, check the currency pair, USD Brazilian real. That's what I used to trade coffee. USD BRL. Brazil is the largest supplier of coffee. So it is also tied to their local currency. So if USD BRL is going up, coffee will be going down. If USD BRL is going down, coffee will be going up. So I will, when I'm trading coffee, my coffee is open. I'll also open investing.com and open, so I'll be checking it. You know that price per pick is because I'm using 0.1. And I used it on the platform that was giving me coffee was $200 per pick. $200 per pick on the standard book. Now, for me to use 0.1, which means I've divided by 10. I mean, so if you divide $200 by 10, which is $20 per pick, 10 pips will be how much? $200. 20 pips will go up, and 30 pips will go up, which is my normal 20 30 consistent every time. All right. So if I open it down, if I'm buying, because I didn't want to buy, if I see USD BRL, I want it to go down so that coffee will every tick to the downside. Because let me see if I can open it so that you see. Let me open it so that you see. All right. Okay. Investing.com. Good now. All right, so you come to your market here, or just simply just type search USD BRL, USD Brazilian real, right? Just open it. Good. Can you see now? For today now, USD BRL, is it going up or down? It's negative, which means coffee should be up. Although this is not minus 0.2, it has not really gone down. At least the last candle you should see on coffee should be giving up. Good. Aha. If this is how it is right now, I'm expecting my coffee to pull up. Are we together? Is it actively pulling down? Ah, I wish we can split screen. Yes, we'll split screen so that we're looking at the two of them. Pardon my network. Right? Are we still in this meeting? I don't know why. Okay, so imagine USD BRL. The network is so bad. Imagine USD BRL. If it goes to minus 0.4, minus 0.05, it's dropping. What do you think will be happening to coffee? It will be pulling up. So it helps me to remain on my trade. That's what I do. I want to know if I should still stay or I should get out.
So I thought the ATI would give you.
The ATI will give you. I'm telling you what me I used to do. It was Herculean, like it was tasky for me. Although I used to make good money from it, so it was not a bother. Now, what I'm trying to achieve with you now is how do I make it stress-free? Are we together? Stress-free. Just wait for where it gives me to sell. Once price gets there, initiate your sell and put a stop loss above that zone. Then if you're using the pro, when it gives you the arrow, initiate your sell or your buy and put your stop loss if it's a sell above the zone, if it's a buy below the zone. Now, I cannot assure you of a 100% win rate, but I can assure you of 70 to 80% win rate, which means out of 10 trades, you are most likely to win 7, you are most likely to win 8. If you are lucky, you can win the whole 10, but it might not be consistent. Are we together? You will win way more trades than you lose. It's easy, it's simple. It's a game of numbers. Look, I discovered this when I started handling an account of $112,000. When I started handling that account, I now discovered that we used to bother ourselves with too much strategy. Have good equity. Trade becomes a game of numbers. Once your account has muscle, it will be helping you fight the market. Look, the market is a business. Treat it as such. Treat it as such. Allow your money to work for you. Now, I had $112,000. Although then I used to trade more of indices. And I trade German indices. German 30 then, before they came up with German 40. So what do? I like to do more buy because I know indices have a natural uptrend. I will wait for a massive fall for price to get to a low. Sometimes, even before it gets to the low, if I'm not too patient, I will initiate a buy. One standard lot, I will line up like 5. I will leave it. Before 2-3 days, that thing must go up massively. That's when I'll be considering closing. If I'm in profit of $300, $500, $700, it's not your profit. I don't know if you get my point. It's not your profit. When we are now seeing 2,000, 3,000 with a standard lot, that's when we are now looking at profit. But if I have $500, $300, can I do that? Even if I use 0.01, 0.02, I'll always be checking the thing. Most times I'll tell myself, after I initiate the trade, I'm not coming back here until at least 6 hours. Once I place a trade, I don't go back to check it until after at least 1 hour. I've placed the trade, I've set my stop loss. Whatever will happen, Your checking will not make the market to go your direction at that point. The market will go when it is ready to go. So it's because you don't have equity that you are trying to force trade. If you have money, you will not force trade. I know people who they trade like you. You will never know because you will hardly see them on the charts. They have good equity in the market. Now I know all fingers are not equal, but if you want to achieve good results, have equity, right? Try and have some good equity in the market. That's why we are saying $500. Now, why are we do it in cents? But at least $1,000. Okay, yes, we are just starting, right? We are just starting. Like I said, when I got introduced to coffee, $3,039 thereabouts. And guess what? Pa, 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 pa. In fact, I just told myself, no more goods, nothing again. Like I found my, I found my niche. The first time I had a value commodity was corn. Corn was good, but coffee was way better. The thing will not be jumping pa, 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 like gold will be jumping up and down. But every move like this is significant, all right? So how many of us are ready to try commodities for a change? Or you want to remain with your, no, you can trade your, you can still trade your currency. Like me, I'm still trading all, but I trade less currencies. Less currency. I don't have that patience. Volatility wise, coffee is still the most volatile. Cocoa is good, not as volatile. I think it's $28 per pip on the standard note, right? Which is like 2.8, $2.80 on 0.1. Boom and crash. We are not booming or crashing anyway. No, you trade boom and crash, or you used to. You stopped when the thing crashed. Now, not that, look, everybody has their own secret, what works for them. Some people are trading boom and crash, and they will tell you they can never trade something else, right? Why? Because somehow, the thing works for them. So I will not just tell you, leave boom and crash if it's working for you. But one thing I've discovered is that, you see, in this market, foreign exchange, Forex, no single individual can tamper with it or influence the market, except people in position of power like Donald Trump. What's his name? No, not even Musk. No, head of Federal Reserve, Jerome Powell, Christine Lagarde of the European Union, right? Those people, based on their position, whatever they say can influence the market. Now, and they don't just come and talk, they talk based on stats, right? So then, even almighty gold, no single individual or a group of people can influence the market. But you see things like boom and crash, they are simulations. They are mimicking the real market. They are simulation. Some people created it and they can manipulate it. So that's why it is dangerous to trade such. It's subject to manipulation. So we have different brokers globally. If you go and check on PU platform, on any other brokers platform, if you see gold go down, on every platform it went down. If you see go up on all platforms, it goes up. Are we together? No single individual can manipulate such. Same with agro commodities, right? So that's why we are talking about trading this agro commodity. Can you see that this guy is beginning to pick up now? Now, let me also give you one more tip. Anytime NFP happens, which we'll experience today, this guy will go the direct opposite of NFP, but he doesn't react when NFP is reacting. It will take about 30 to 45 minutes, or in less than 1 hour, it will start reacting. I'm sorry, after like 30, 45 minutes before you start seeing the reaction on the coffee. I've used that to my advantage. NFP was very, very bad. Very bad. There was no reaction here. After about 30 something minutes, this guy started going on. Two massive 1 hour candles went up, covering over 90 something pips. Massive profits. Although I've exited the market. So I did not enjoy that one. I've exited the market. I just checked, right? So you will not see the impact. So one of the things I like about it is that and guess what? If the impact is not massive, it will not even affect Agro. Are we together? Is massive impacts that affect are not immediately. So you can check whatever impact it is on the news, whatever it is with dollar, it's direct opposite that will happen to this guy.
Oh, that's it.
Okay.
So you are saying that if the impact NFT is big,
Yes.
because
Most likely positive. They go the direct opposite of the currency. You know, we mentioned it now. When the dollar is good, the currency is bad. When the dollar is bad. Yeah. So these are some of the additional information, right? So let me start from sir. Which one would you prefer, ATI or ATI? The best. All right. So he's doing $1,000 in his account now to get. Where is this thing? Where is the ATI Pro? So that we can start. Hmm. Yes. Yes. I'm here. And I'll be here. Mm. Mm. Has there been any restriction to withdraw? Okay, no. Sir? Yes, it's a class. Let my Oga at the back answer that question. Did you hear his question? Sir, please repeat your question. Okay. Yes. Mm. Okay. Mm. Mm. Have you placed any withdrawal and they were telling you for some reason you can't get the money now? No, we just want to know so that we can improve our customer service. Yeah. So I know. Mm. No, there should be something, perhaps KYC issue or what do you call it now? There should be something, and it's not like say you can't take your money. You'll be giving reasons and you'll be giving what to do. So it's not just you can't take your money. What?
Yeah.
And the POA.
People will give you access to the only account and trading. But what you're able to do, it needs to be people who have education, which is what long we go. I will always emphasize that. So, verify people who give you access to global. All of that. The POA
Proof of address. Submit any valid ID card you have.
The utility bill, the bank statement, in the name and has your address.
Awesome. Sorry guys, we're just taking some questions.
You just get into the platform and bring out their account. And before you know the people
It's credited.
but I still have to give it back for a while. You have to pay and then send
Okay, so
are you doing anything impressive?
so we do fee transfer. In terms of mineral, we have accounts, right? We have the mineral distance. Because if you use that cost, we don't specific transfer, it's going to affect the rate, right? But we also have the mineral transfer. That is over, right? You have to make the transfer shapes. It's not, you don't necessarily have
So if you are interested in the indicators, the ATI or the ATI Pro, please just notify us via the chat, and we'll get it across to you via your mail what we do installing it and how to use it.
So if you're
interested in the indicator, please notify now via the chat. All right, thank you.
This is, it takes 16 hours for that. That's what we say. For it to don't answer, you can send it to your account manager and he will pass it for you. That is the local bank transfer. We also have the instant bank transfer. Now, once you get a deposit, instant bank to compare your accounts.
Yes, no weekend.
I've been with you for a while. When I started, withdrawal was taking me some time. Withdrawal, wait for specific duration. But it's very complex. In recent time, I just see that withdrawal, the highest.
Okay, thank you, everybody. We'll call it a day from right here. Thank you, everyone. Get prepared for NFP live trading session. We'll be trading NFP live. So everybody get prepared. 2 p.m. is the time. So next 1 hour we'll be trading NFP live. So everybody get prepared.